I was thinking about, I've been reading a lot of articles recently about the negative effects of smartphones and the sort of constantly connected world. There's concerns about attention spans. There's concerns about people being addicted to being on their phone or feeling very acutely disconnected or isolated whenever they're off their phones. And we know how these fully immersive smartphones can lead to people decreasing actual real world interpersonal interaction, families where everybody sits at dinner on their phones instead of talking to each other, et cetera, et cetera. And I sort of also started thinking about this trend towards minimalism that exists now. The idea that, hey, we don't really need to, nor do we benefit from this idea of working to have money to buy stuff to use, to then buy more stuff, which means we have to keep working, et cetera, et cetera. In a way, maybe one of the most positive things about smartphone technology, Lewis, is that they do allow for a higher level of minimalism. If you're dissatisfied with the sort of rat race realities of many Westerners making more stuff to buy more money, smartphones really do drastically reduce the amount of stuff you need to own, right? I mean, you can eliminate all of your books if you use your smartphone as a digital reader. You can eliminate your nightstand alarm clock by using the alarm feature on your phone. You can eliminate your watch because your smartphone tells you what time it is. You might even be able to get rid of a laptop if you basically just need to do email and simple tasks. You can do that on your smartphone. There's a very long list, right? Cookbooks, all those cookbooks in your home, those go away. Music CDs, if you still have any. I don't think Lewis does, but some people might. Those can all go away. You don't need a camera anymore. You don't need a calculator. You don't need a GPS. You don't need a map or atlases. When there's new mapping, it just gets updated on your phone. So shouldn't we be seeing this as one of the positive sides, Lewis, of smartphone technology, that you really can simplify your life in a way at some risk, right? Putting so many eggs in the basket of being controlled by your smartphone is a scary thing to some people. But think about all the stuff you don't even need to think about buying as a result of smartphone technology.
And I don't think no one should disagree with that. Of course, it does make life easier if you were to use all of those things
right
regularly anyway. But when everything is in this small handheld device that you have with you all the time,
right?
How much of your life are you spending involved with that device rather than experiencing everything that's happening around you?
Right. The antisocial impact, the tendency towards living in your phone, and just from a technological perspective, being overly reliant on one device. What happens when that device breaks? You've had a broken phone recently, Lewis, where the phone physically worked, but you couldn't make any calls or send text messages or get data, right? I mean, it was basically the phone worked, but it didn't really work.
Well, it basically turned into, at that point, it was just a computer that had Wi-Fi.
It was a Wi-Fi device.
Yeah.
And did that impact your day-to-day activities?
It did a little bit because I had to either have Wi-Fi or be at a computer if I wanted to be in contact with anyone.
Right.
And so it did hinder me a little bit, but I made it. I made it through.
Send me your thoughts about this. How do you weigh the pros and cons of increasingly ubiquitous and immersive smartphone technology? I think there's definitely a lot to be said for the doors it opens with regard to eliminating a lot of the stuff in our lives.